Very good evening, everyone. This is Mahesh, Senior Chemistry Faculty. Today, I would like to explain chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics is one of the important topic from the physical chemistry for all the national level competitive examinations like JEE Mains, Advanced and NEET. There will be minimum 2 questions coming from this topic. And from chemical kinetics, one of the important concept is zero order kinetics. So, we are often interested about chemical reactions and as well as how do a chemical reaction is progressed. When it comes to a chemical reaction progress, the important task is speed of the reaction or time taken by it. If a chemical reaction takes less time, it means it is a faster reaction. If it takes more time, it is a slow reaction. Whether it is a fast or a slow reaction, it completely depends upon the concentration of reactants. Rate always directly proportional to the concentration of reactant whole power n. This is the expression from rate law. This is the expression from rate law. Can we imagine an equation or chemical reaction without a reactant? No, it is not possible. So that is why we can simply say that rate is directly proportional to concentration of reactant. And in this equation, the n indicates order of reaction. N indicates order of reaction. In all the reference materials, I see that simply giving n is nothing but sum of power of reactants in the rate law. But that is not the actual or perfect definition to make it conceptual. So what I will say about order of reaction is, it is the influence, the increase in concentration or the change in concentration of reactant altering the rate. How do the change in concentration of reactant alters the rate of reaction is said to be order. In most of the reference textbooks, they simply say that what is order is sum of power of reactants. But what I say is, it is the effect of altering the concentration of reactant on the speed of the reaction. But this equation of rate law is not holds good for the zero order. A directly proportional to can be converted into equal to by taking a proportionality constant k, where here k is the rate constant. So the above equation can be written as rate is equal to k into concentration of reactant whole power n. Since I am discussing about zero order, that means order of the reaction will be 0. So now only you said that rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of reactant. If n is equal to 0, this equation will become rate is equal to k into concentration of reactant whole power 0, and anything power 0 will be 1. That means rate becomes equal to k, where rate of a reaction is nothing but speed of reaction. So how you can say that rate of a reaction is equal to rate constant without concentration of reactant? Just now we have discussed that speed of a reaction depends upon concentration of reactant. But the final expression that I got for zero order saying that rate, that is speed of reaction determined by rate constant k but not concentration of reactant. How come this is possible? This is possible for a few specific characteristic reactions which are influenced by catalyst. Not all the chemical reactions are influenced by only concentration of substances. Few chemical reactions are influenced by catalyst. For example, I will take hydrogenation of ethylene. Hydrogenation of ethylene. Take ethylene is reacting with hydrogen. Both of them are gaseous in state actually. In presence of nickel as catalyst forms ethane. This is a very simple reaction in preparation of alkane. We use it in preparation of alkane. So ethylene on hydrogenation, that means addition of hydrogen will forms ethane, which is nothing but addition of hydrogen. But this reaction cannot be carried by bringing ethylene and hydrogen together. This reaction could not be completed by bringing the two reactants together. For example, this is the reaction vessel that I have taken. In this reaction vessel, I have taken ethylene and hydrogen together, right, and close the container. It doesn't mean when the two reactants are taken in the container, they start reacting. only in presence of catalyst. When the small amount of nickel powder is added, when small amount of nickel powder is added to this reaction mixture, then they starts reacting and forming the product. That means in this case, the formation of ethane do not depends upon the reactants that you have taken. It depends upon the catalyst that is provided. So certain kind of reactions which can be carried out by progress of a catalyst or any condition like temperature or pressure, then it is said to be a zero order. So what all I can say about a zero order reaction is the chemical reactions which do not depends upon the concentration of reactant or which are independent on concentration of reactions. So chemical reactions which are independent on concentration of reactants. That means though even you increase or decrease concentration of reactants, it will not change the speed of the reaction, which are independent on concentration of reactants. Independent on concentration of reactants. Then how to calculate? Question rises. What is the question rises is how to calculate time taken by a zero order reaction. Questions come on this concept. So in this competitive examination, most often we will see questions like which of the following is the correct statement or which of the following is the false statement. In that case, we will find one of this statement like this, where saying that chemical reactions or zero order reactions are not independent on concentration of reactants. So each and every line is very important about this particular statements that we mentioned clearly. Right. Now coming to the time taken by a zero order reaction. Right. For that I will take two rate laws, that is instantaneous rate. What is instantaneous rate is rate of reaction calculated for particular point of time. Exactly that point of time is said to be instantaneous rate, and it is nothing but rate of change in concentration of reactant with respect to time, where here derivative is the mathematical function that indicates the rate of change. And since during a chemical reaction concentration of reactant is decreases, which is indicated with a negative sign. So consider R is the reactant that is getting converted into products. Consider this reaction. When you plot a graph between concentration of reactant on y-axis and time t on x-axis. Plot a graph by taking concentration of reactant on y-axis and time t on x-axis. With increase in time, concentration of reactant will decreases. So the initial concentration of reactant will be maximum, and with increase in time, concentration of reactant will be decreasing. So what is instantaneous rate is, what is the rate of reaction exactly at 10 seconds. Imagine that the time at this point is 10 seconds. Then what is the rate of reaction exactly at 10 seconds is said to be instantaneous rate. And the same rate can also be calculated from rate law. From rate law, the rate expression is K into concentration of reactant whole power 0, because it is zero order. Actual formula is concentration of reactant into whole power n, and n is equal to 0 for zero order. Now this is the equation 1 saying, and this is the equation 2. Both of them are giving the same expression, that is with respect to rate only. So equalizing 1 and 2 from equations 1 and 2. From equations 1 and 2, we can write that both of them are indicating same expression. So it is minus rate of change in concentration of reactant with respect to time is equal to K into concentration of reactant whole power 0. Anything power 0 is 1. So this is the final expression that I have got. So to get the expression for time taken, what is our main motto in this integrated form of zero order? To know the time taken by a zero order reaction. To get the time equation, what I am going to do is I am going to take integrated form. Integration is also a mathematical function that helps in scientific interpreting the scientific data. Right? So let us see the integrated form of this expression, the finally derived. Right. So we will continue the derivation from the equation that we have got up to here, which is minus, that minus sign indicates that concentration of reactant is decreasing. Or even you can take with respect to product also, is equal to K. Now send this dt on this side, it will become K into dt. Apply integration on both sides, which is minus integral of derivative of concentration of reactant is equal to K into integral dt. You cannot apply delta, derivative or integration for a constant, because these are the mathematical functions that are applicable for variables, not for a constant. What is K here is, it is a rate constant, so we cannot apply. Time can be changed. From left to right, time is changing, so it is variable here. And from bottom to top, concentration of reactant is increasing, so it is also a variable. Now, consider the reaction at two different states. This is the reaction that I have taken, where R is any reactant. Consider the reaction at initial state. What is initial state? Initial state means reaction is not yet started. If reaction is not yet started, there is no product formed. If reaction is progress, then only you will get products. If reaction is not yet initiated, then the concentration of products is 0 and the concentration of reactants will be maximum, that is R0. R0 is the initial concentration of reactant, that is maximum. And after certain time t, that means what is the time at initial state is equal to 0. Here time in the sense time taken for the reaction to progress, for the reactants to convert into products. If reaction is not yet started, which indicates time taken by the reaction is 0. After certain time, some amount of products, that is x is the amount of products formed. Then concentration of reactant leftover will be R0 minus x. Where you are getting the products, the reactants only convert into products. This is the initial concentration that you have taken. Then what is the amount of concentration of reactant left over? R0 minus x. Take that R0 minus x as R only. So here R0 is greater than R. Initial concentration of reactant is always greater than the concentration of reactant at any given time. Now I am going to take these two intervals. For this integration, I am going to take these two intervals at initial state R0, at final state R. In the same way, at initial state, you are applying integration for the time. Here T is not temperature, it is time. So, at initial state, the time is 0 and at after certain time T, I am doing this calculation. So, these limits are indicating at initial state after certain time T. Now, let us consider this equation. Here I am going to use a mathematical formula, that is integral dx is equal to x. Integral dx is equal to x. Then it will be minus of R0, the initial minus final. Concentration of reactant minus of R0, minus of minus, it will be plus, then it will be concentration of reactant. Then integral dt will be 0 of minus t into k. So initial minus final state, then it will be minus of initial concentration R0 plus concentration of reactant is equal to minus k into t. Apply, multiply on both sides with negative, then it will be concentration, initial concentration of reactant minus R is equal to k into t. From this you can write the formula for time taken by the reaction, where time taken by the reaction is equal to initial concentration of reactant, that is R0 minus R, concentration of reactant at given time t by k. This is the formula. Sir, okay, we got the formula for time. Then how to calculate the rate constant k value? Rate constant k value for a given chemical equation. Then that can be done by using mathematical function. Most of the scientific data can be calculated by using a graphical representation. So what I am going to do is, I am going to get a mathematical expression where we can calculate the rate constant, because if you want to calculate time taken by a reaction, you should calculate the rate constant too. Initial concentration, that is the amount of reactant that you have provided. Concentration of reactant left over you will come to know by the amount of product formed. When you come to know the amount of product formed, then definitely you can calculate the concentration of reactant left over at that particular time. So to calculate rate constant for this zero order, what I am going to do is I am going to take this equation or this one. This one I will be taking. So initial concentration of reactant, that is R naught, minus concentration of reactant R is equal to K into T. Now I am going to plot a graph so that I am going to calculate the rate constant. What I am going to do is I will be getting it into a form of y is equal to mx plus c. This is a very important mathematical equation that helpful in scientific calculation to calculate an unknown value. So you need to convert this equation into the form of y is equal to mx plus c. What is the measurements that we need to take every year? In chemistry, particularly in chemistry, definitely one question will be there by converting a given equation in this form to calculate an unknown value. To calculate an unknown value, this equation is necessary. So you need to take one of the parameter on y-axis of a graph and one of the parameter on x-axis of a graph, so that it will be a straight line. And that straight line equation can be three types. It can be a positive deviation. It will be a positive deviation when the slope, here m is the slope, and if the slope is positive, then you will get a positive deviation. It can be parallel to the straight line. It can be parallel to the x-axis when the slope is equal to 0. And the third variability is it can be negative deviation. Negative deviation is possible when the slope is negative. Now let us see how we are going to convert this given equation into y is equal to mx plus c to calculate k, where k will be the slope. So here initial concentration, that is R naught, cannot be a variable. It is always fixed. Initial concentration for a given reaction is always fixed. So what are the variables here is concentration of reactant is the variable that changes with time, and time is also a variable. So that above equation I am going to write it as minus concentration of reactant is equal to K into T, the same expression, the first one that we have got. Minus this R naught on going that side will become minus R naught. Multiply on both sides with negative, so that you will get concentration of reactant is equal to minus K into T plus initial concentration of reactant, which can be written in the form of concentration of reactant is equal to minus of K into T plus concentration of reactant at initial state, which is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. That means when you plot a graph by taking concentration of reactant at given time t on y-axis and at time t on x-axis, you will get a negative slope because the slope here is minus k. You will get a negative slope because of the slope is minus k. So this will be the graph look like to calculate the rate constant for zero order. This is the concentration of reactant on y-axis, and this is the time t on x-axis, and this is the way it looks like. And the slope is nothing but minus k, which is rate constant. So in this way we can calculate the rate constant for zero order, or time taken by a zero order, or concentration of reactant left over. So these are the three parameters that questions might come in the national level competitive examinations based on the zero order chemical reactions. Okay, thank you.